30 miles east on the banks of the River Orwell, it's the county's rich maritime history that's preserved. A hub for boat repairs, Pin Mill is also a haven for artists and photographers looking to capture the area's unique atmosphere.
I think this would make quite a good spot. Yeah, I think I quite like the way the shore's coming down there with those dark masses. I think that'll make a good painting.
Local artist Ed Cooper has been painting the River Orwell and the surrounding area for the past 10 years.
I do get a sense of treading in the footsteps of countless artists that have drawn inspiration. Wherever you have the land meeting the water, that's always been a source of inspiration for artists over the years.
Suffolk was once the home of Britain's most celebrated landscape artist, John Constable. His best-known paintings captured everyday rural life in the 19th century and still leave a lasting impression today.
One of the things that he was interested in was this going out into nature and observing the effects of weather conditions, clouds, and really went back to this idea of observational art. At the time, art had become maybe slightly formulaic. He went out into nature and just sketched from life. You could say that he was a precursor to like the Impressionists, people going out and working directly from life.
Constable's approach became known as en plein air, a fancy name for painting outside. And he'd begin with a messy wash.
So just using a little bit of colour. So just laying down some colour. Quite like this a sort of purplish note, and this will all be covered up. This is really just a little bit of a base. Yeah, it's a nice way to start. I put some of these reds in, really to act as a bit of a complementary. It's mostly green, grey, blues, which could be a little bit dull, so I've just put this sort of more colourful base colour on that will hopefully allow some of those colours to sort of play against. What's always appealed to me is coming out here different times of year, seeing different weather conditions, different times of day, and just seeing really just the light playing on the water, reflected in these mud flats. I'm out here, I get completely absorbed in the experiences of working from nature. Yeah, it's a bit like being in a sort of, it's quite dreamlike in a way. And then at the end, you know, you win some, you lose some. And every now and again, you just get that glimpse of capturing something of this amazing landscape.
In Suffolk, at the mouth of the River Orwell, artist Ed Cooper is halfway through his latest painting.
There was just something about seeing an oil painting unfold, quite magical, really.
He's chosen a favourite location from his childhood, Pin Mill. Once a hub for boat building and repairs, now an area of outstanding natural beauty.
When I was younger, I would cycle out quite a lot, sometimes cycle out to paint. It's just enjoyable to come out, have a nice afternoon, bit of a break from being in the town, because it has such a sort of nice atmosphere out here. So we're well over halfway. I've managed to find a focal point, which is a little sailboat going off in the distance. I've managed to capture to some extent this nice sort of hazy atmosphere. So trying to get that sense of distance. So I'm really now just trying to tweak the colours, balance some of the details, and really start to bring the whole composition together.
Ed has been painting since school, but more recently has turned his passion towards teaching others the art of oil painting.
I try to paint with my students, show them that sometimes, you know, you win some, you lose some, but just give them the enjoyment of watching someone else paint and seeing it unfold. I think it's a real treat to watch other people to paint and also to paint for other people.
But as the tide and the weather begin to turn, Ed has a battle on his hands.
Sometimes you'll get something happen. There's a break in the clouds, you see a spotlight suddenly illuminate something. You can suddenly start to see almost maybe like turquoises and these the yellows, that's like the silt. Just in a moment the colour can change quite dramatically. I mean, like back there we can see the light suddenly starting to hit that distant shore over there, and just effects like that, I mean, they're perfect for painting outdoors. That's, you know, the great appeal of being out here, is that things can suddenly change for the better. I think I've just about finished it. I'm pleased with the way the composition came on. I found a nice bit of foreground interest here with this bit of wood sticking out and a little bit of seaweed hanging off it, which sort of suggests age, suggests it's been here for years. And I really like that about this landscape, you know, the fact it feels like it's been used for sort of centuries in a way. It's a great spot. And actually, as has happened often the case when I come out painting, a couple of hours, really focused concentration, and suddenly you look around you and everything seems like would be worth a painting. I feel very fortunate to live in this part of the country and be able to come out here and paint on a regular basis.
Whilst for Ed, it's the beauty of the Suffolk countryside that inspires him, at Kentwell Hall, some 30 miles inland, it's the county's rich history that captures the imagination.